up, baby. Take you out to dinner.
We're already 5 seconds in, and
half the audience is left.
Yep. Well, that's all we needed.
Half of one is a half. So, welcome to episode 5.
Can we just go back to what you just said?
What half of
one is a half?
A half. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it not?
No, it is.
Oh, okay.
I don't understand why you said that.
Because half of our audience is 1. So half of 1 is a half.
Speaking of a half, I talked to my mom today.
And?
She hasn't mentioned the podcast, which further... Oh, okay. We lost Ryan as well. Oh, we made a more blue man. Oh, this is a rough start. We don't even have the lighting set up. Please hold. Does that even help? Who knows? It's kind of a vibe. Wow. Rough start all around. Rough start.
So much better.
A little bit. A minute in, had nothing set up.
I used to be softer. Whatever. We'll deal with it later.
I really wanted to make myself a coffee, but it is 6 o'clock.
Caffeine.
Can we just talk really fast about smart people stuff?
Yeah.
I was always under the impression that marijuana and caffeine... I was kidding, not caffeine. Marijuana and alcohol improve sleep because it helps you go to sleep faster.
You think like you're saying, even though they help you get to sleep faster, it doesn't improve the quality of the sleep?
Yeah. Like I was listening to the Huberman Lab, which is most definitely another podcast, which is 100% worse than ours. Podcast. Oh, okay.
One of the best.
Second to ours. Ours is a lot more formal. But it turns out, yes, it helps you get to sleep, but it messes with your deep sleep. I didn't know that. So that was kind of interesting. And I wanted the 3 people who listen to this to know that.
Yeah.
Tegan, you hear that?
They're also bad for anxiety, so.
You think so?
Yeah. They are.
Okay. Is that subjective?
Well, like, while you're on it might help, but long term, it makes your anxiety worse.
Does it depend on the route? Not alcohol, but like marijuana, I guess.
Yeah.
Does it depend on the route you take it?
No.
Why would it make your anxiety worse?
You're still ingesting it.
I understand that. But you know how like smoking can exacerbate anxiety?
Smoking's bad.
I know that, but what if you take like edibles?
It's still affecting your brain in the same way, no matter how you take it.
I mean, that's fair. It's not unfair. Should we begin?
Yeah.
We're 3 minutes in and we've said nothing.
Yeah. So Cory had a question because he listened to our podcast on his way home today. And he was wondering, is it weird to listen to your own podcast?
Yes.
Right off the bat, for entertainment, it might be a little weird. But it's definitely okay to listen to it because you have to like make sure everything's okay.
Like, does it make me a narcissist?
No, I mean...
I like hearing myself talk.
Does it like turn you on?
Like, no. I
think you're fine.
I thought it was like we usually watch them back here before we
Yeah. Them. Which is weird because episode 3 ended up upside down. But I'm working on it.
Honestly, I kind of like it. It's Tegan's big shot to fame and she's upside down.
I mean, okay.
It's all flipped around. But that is weird because every other platform, it's not.
Yeah, all the other ones are fine. But, oh well. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
So is it weird to listen to your own podcast? We can put questions on our episodes now. Yeah. I'll have that be the question.
Do you know how to do that?
Or like a poll, yeah. When you upload it.
Okay.
I'll have that be the question.
A little poll. There's a hair.
Should we see what our friendly ChatGPT has to say about it?
Before that, can I just address something I noticed?
Go for it.
You know how you cut your finger the other day?
Yeah, right somewhere.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, you left your Band-Aid right there.
Oh,
that's
nice.
The grossest thing I've ever seen.
You work in a hospital. There's no way it's the grossest thing you've ever seen.
No, I think that is. Yeah, that's it right there.
Don't lie to yourself.
Because this is my station.
Sorry.
The hospital belongs to Brian Mueller.
Sorry.
Yeah, just throw it into the hallway. Ew, that's my shelf.
That's my shelf.
We share shelves. That was cute. Again, the throuple is back at it. Okay, sorry. ChatGPT. What should we say? Like, good morning? No, good afternoon.
We gotta ask it. Is it weird to listen to your own podcast?
Oh, is that what I'm asking?
Yeah. Also, I'll link it in the description this time for people wondering how to get to it.
It can definitely be strange to listen to.
Zoom in.
Shit.
So
Here.
you can see it on the TV.
I feel like I should be in frame when I do this. Oh, my computer works again.
Yeah, they only had to erase the hard drive.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay. How's that? Better?
It's all right.
It can definitely be strange to listen to your own voice on a podcast. Comma. Do you like the dramatic effect?
Yeah.
Especially if you're not used to hearing yourself in that way. However, comma. Many people find it helpful to listen to their own podcast in order to improve. Okay, like, yeah.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, in order to improve the performance and make the necessary changes. Like, when I was listening, every time he talked, I was like, shut the fuck up, Ryan. It's just so annoying.
Okay, fine. I'll be quiet.
It's just a solo podcast, even though this one's kind of your show today. Overall, initially strange to listen to your own podcast, but it could be a valuable tool. I feel like you could apply that to other things.
Yeah.
You know how like journaling helps with anxiety and depression and
Yeah.
that whole slew? What if you like voice memoed it and then listened to it back?
I mean, you could.
But what's your actual thought on it?
Me?
Yes.
What I said earlier.
That
But,
you
like,
could?
Yeah. Listening to it for pure entertainment value might be a little weird. But if it's entertaining, why not? I don't know.
Okay. I found myself anticipating what was coming next because I was the one who was in the podcast.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I knew what was coming, but I
Yeah.
still was drawn to listen to more.
Fair enough.
Also, can I maybe try to have it tell us a story and see if it's another cartoon?
Go for it.
I've been thinking about this nonstop. Yep.
Wait, who's Rose?
I don't know. She lived in a magnificent castle, though.
Who's Princess Rose?
A dragon attacked her kingdom, causing the wide... What if they're actually just making this up at this point?
Wait, actually, who's Rose? I don't know this story.
Why do I think it's like Rose and the Frog or something?
Princess Rose, Disney.
Who's this bitch?
Oh, Sleeping Beauty. I thought it was Aurora.
It is.
Apparently it's Rose.
Which Disney princess is Rose? Oh, it is Aurora.
Oh, okay. There you go, Sleeping Beauty. That makes sense because there's a dragon.
Never seen Sleeping Beauty. Can we start?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's get into something real.
Get nerdy?
I'll let you take it
A little
away.
nerdy? Okay.
Nerdy and dirty.
So my brother sent me this really cool article that I wanted to cover because I like science podcasts, so I felt like we could be a little sciencey today for a little bit.
Just a bit.
I'm going to try to explain things in a way that other people can understand.
Okay.
Okay? That's my goal. Whenever we talk about sciencey things, looking at princesses, we're going to try to talk about them in a way that other people can understand. All right?
Fair.
So,
pretend I'm your audience. Dumb as bricks.
study from 21st of September of this year, so about 2.5 months ago. Came out of Indiana University, IU, and the University of Michigan. Basically, what they were doing was headline, they used AI to beat cancer. Okay, kind of headline. I'll explain it. So first we have to talk a little bit about basic cancer biology. Okay, you might want to tune in or just kind of help me out.
Okay, we can do that.
Because you work in a hospital, so you're much more...
cancer prone? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, you're much more credible to talk about
Sure.
cancer biology.
Sorry.
I like these aids. These are good. Okay. So
Visual
pretty much,
aids.
so cancer, just kind of any cell that goes haywire, that goes wrong in the body. So the body is replicating, replenishing, recycling cells all the time. And a lot of times when it does that, something goes wrong in the DNA. Either a spontaneous mutation or it just copies wrong, in which case that's your cancer cell. Normally, the body's able to detect these faults and able to get rid of it or suppress it automatically. The problem comes when the mutation or the cell's behavior, the cancer cell's behavior, disables the body's ability to suppress it or to get rid of it. Is that good so far?
Can I interject just for a second?
Yeah.
Everything you said is true. No one's going to disagree with you. I'm going to use sunburns for an example because I think everyone is aware of what a sunburn is. The reason everyone, shut up. Your mom and dad tell you to wear...
Your mom!
Your mom! Talking about canceling your mom over here. Clickbait.
It's going to be that title.
Yeah.
Canceling your mom.
Oh, canceling or canceling your mom?
Both.
Canceling cancer in your mom.
Alright, keep going. Skin cancer.
So when you get sunburn, basically what that redness is and that irritation is cells quite literally dying. Death. Cell death.
Because of radiation.
Radiation.
The radiation from the sun.
Creepy to think about. When that happens, those cells go through something called apoptosis, which what I pulled up. Apoptosis is programmed cell death. The body's like, you're not useful to us anymore due to the damage, or it's too old, or X, Y, and Z. And so it quite literally kills itself. And it eats itself from the inside out, so it doesn't leave any waste. It's kind of cool.
Yep.
With cancer, it's such a massive area of burn, or even burn victims, same concept, that each of those cells have to now replenish somehow, so they start making each other. And due to such a widespread, it's a lot easier to miss an error. And that's how cancer within the skin starts.
Yep.
I think you said that, but I'm going to say it again.
Yeah, no, that was good. That was a good example. I like that. So basically how the cells are getting around this is most of the time they're cutting out what are called suppressor genes. So inside of your DNA, there's a gene that causes the cell to basically suppress. There are a couple of different ways it can do that. The body can prevent it from replicating or other things. So it'll cut out this suppressor gene. When it cuts out the suppressor gene, it's not very exact, and it tends to cut out other important things in the process. Things that are vital for its health. But it has a little backup mechanism where it can take other genes that could be suited for that process that it just cut out and use it for that.
And this is the cancer cell we're still talking about.
Yeah, this is the cancer cell. So cancer cell cuts out a suppressor gene, takes something important with it, but there's another gene in the DNA that it can use as a backup for, let's say, energy production for this scenario. So if we can figure out what that backup gene or that paralog gene is, then we can figure out, we can distinguish the cancerous cells from the non-cancerous cells, which right now is really hard to do. I guess the best example of one way we determine is just by targeting cells that replicate quickly, right? But then you also get the hair, which is why you see hair loss with cancer treatment.
I think you're referring to chemotherapy.
Yeah,
right?
chemotherapy. Yeah.
So I'll just
go for it.
Quick little tour on chemotherapy. The reason chemotherapy is so harsh to humans is because it attacks those cells that replicate fast. So cancer is one of the fastest replicating cells. So imagine like a bubble in your human body. It's almost like a dome around it. It has its own blood supply. It's basically a body within a body. So like, get over there.
Yeah.
So the cancer cells are replicating, and there's nothing within me or within a human that is going to tell those cancer cells to stop. And that's why cancer just continually grows and grows and grows to the point where it kills you. Now, chemo, knowing that, scientists were like, let's just target those rapidly growing cells. Yes, it gets the cancer, but it also gets your skin, and it also gets your hair, and it makes you nauseous. And it just comes with a slew of side effects, and 9 out of 10 patients get those side effects. So that's why you see the hair loss and the frail patients and the weight loss, and it's because the chemo, yes, it's targeting the cancer, but it's also targeting good cells. Yep. Anyways, back onto the freeway.
Cool. Yeah, so if we can target these cells based on the paralog gene that they're using, that backup gene, then we can distinguish the cancer from the non-cancer in the body and target it directly, possibly with 0 side effects. So what this research study did was it sought to determine which important genes were cut out when the suppressor gene was cut out, and then use an algorithm to determine suitable replacements that would predict what genes the cell would use to replace the vital gene for life, and then target that. So that's basically what it did. The entire human genome was sequenced in, I did a little deep dive the other day. Entire human genome was sequenced in 2003. So that means we got all the letters in a row for DNA. This year, 2022, April 1st, I think, the human genome was decoded. So you can take any gene within that sequence and we pretty much know what it does. So by figuring out what it cut out, we can actually determine what the cell is doing for a backup with this algorithm. So what they did was they took mice and I don't know if they just selected mice with ovarian cancer or if they induced ovarian cancer in the mice.
It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. But pretty much they determined the gene that most of the mice had, or that the cancer in the mice had cut out, and then ran the algorithm for the most likely suitable replacement. Basically, the gene that it had cut out was something really important for making energy. So, of course, if that didn't have a replacement, the cell would just die on its own. So it has to replace it so that it can live on and fuel it growing and living. So the algorithm successfully determined what this backup or paralog gene that it was using was, and they were able to target cells using that paralog gene, or basically just destroy that paralog gene locally and kill off the cancer. The mice, the ones that were using that paralog gene that they used the treatment on went into complete remission. I'm pretty sure with no side effects, which is super cool. Yeah, it's in mice, but it's just a proof of concept of kind of where cancer treatment's going.
Does it use CRISPR?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. I couldn't access the full document, so I had to go to a couple different places. But if you're doing any sort of gene manipulation, chances are you're using CRISPR.
So CRISPR, for people who don't know, is basically what Ryan was talking about.
It's a way to manipulate genes.
Yeah, but the biggest flaw with CRISPR...
We've had it for a while, but...
CRISPR's not new. It's cool, though. It's really cool.
Yeah.
The biggest flaw with CRISPR is using what is called a vehicle, a vesicle, whatever you want, a vector. Maybe not a vector, but I'll call it a vector.
Call it a vector.
And there's no guarantee that it gets to the right genome.
Yeah.
So how are they combating that in this study?
So at the end of the abstract, they did note that the treatment was irrespective of basically the tumor's defense structure, like physical defense structure. So the vehicle that they used just happened to work with the cancer that they were operating on, or not operating on, but treating. And it was kind of just a note that hey, on some cancers, this might not work because of how they've built themselves up. But
here's another thought. I know we're using ovarian cancer for this example. Mm-hmm. What if we try to use this on brain cancer and all of a sudden all those cells die and there's a big mass? Is that not just going to cause a big hemorrhage in the brain?
Well, once the cancer cell dies, the body can then detect it as a dead cell, which it can then clean up on its own. If it's huge, you'll still have to go in and operate just because of pressure on the brain and stuff. But the body should clean it up if it's a small tumor.
Okay.
If you can catch it early. So huge proof of concept, huge efficacy proof. The cool thing is so the algorithm that the University of Michigan designed for this study is actually up on GitHub, and any other study that wants to use it can use it. It's basically a database of genes that cells use for metabolism and good backup genes for metabolism.
So I know we mentioned OpenAI. We've been playing with it the last few episodes.
One OpenAI. There's
one
a
OpenAI.
lot.
Is it the more my computer uses OpenAI, the more this particular version of it learns? Or
particular version.
Or is it, as everybody uses it, my AI gets smarter as well?
Yeah, it works both ways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So does that mean like the answers are going to start maybe veering away from Cinderella?
So this one, I don't know exactly how it worked. I read one thing, I don't know if this is true, but that they told this AI everything that it's allowed to know and then set a cutoff date and said...
Wait, what?
Yeah. So basically it's only allowed to learn based off inputs or something? I don't know.
So everything
really
I type in, it learns off of that. So it started at 0.
No, they input a bunch of stuff and like let it go wild.
That's so creepy.
Yeah. But because I tried to look something up specifying the year 2002, and it came back with an answer that was something like the coders... Or let me see if I can just do it again.
My creator will not let me.
Yeah.
Best music
released in 2022. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm not able to browse the internet or access up-to-date information. As a large language model trained by OpenAI, my knowledge is based solely on the text I've been trained on, and my knowledge cutoff is 2021. So...
Interesting.
So it was trained by OpenAI, but it has a cutoff. Whatever that means.
Maybe they wrote it in 2021.
Yeah, but the algorithm that the University of Michigan made is probably more accurately defined as machine learning than AI.
That is... Wasn't that just proven? The Wuhan, China thing?
No, it was first identified in China. Which it was. That was the first.
Yeah, positive identification.
Patient 0.
I thought I was patient 0 in Arizona.
Yeah, honestly. So just cool research. You have anything to add?
In terms of cancer?
Yeah. Other than it sucks.
It does suck, and I unfortunately see a lot of cancer patients. And a lot of them are very sweet, but also a lot of them are very defeated.
Yeah.
And I know it's like such a huge physical battle, but there's also like a subsequent mental battle that goes with it.
Oh, definitely.
And like I've shared this with you, but I've always wanted to go into pediatric oncology. I think that's like something that could like really... I feel like I could have like a pretty substantial impact in that field.
Yeah.
And I subscribe to Western medicine, but I'm always interested in Eastern. Mm-hmm. Do I think it always works? No, but that's okay.
Right. I think with pretty much everything, there's this balance of like, it's not one extreme end or the other. You know, when you look at like the carnivore diet or fruitarian or vegan, like probably the best thing to do is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, Western medicine completely or Eastern medicine completely. Well, it's probably a hybrid of both, you know?
No, that's fair.
Right wing, left wing.
I've been working with a lot of DOs lately instead of MDs.
Yeah. Yeah. Doctors of osteopathic medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like they have better outcomes.
I feel like they have a more all-encompassing view of how the body works.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think all the doctors I get like
they're all so smart.
Yeah.
Crazy smart.
Yeah, which is
just the perspective of DOs is really interesting compared to MDs. Yeah.
It's different. They can also talk to patients a lot better, I think.
That could be really subjective.
It so is.
Limited subject.
100%.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the pediatric oncology. I think like you're able to change a course of treatment, even not even peds, like even just adults, but you can change a course of treatment just by your attitude.
Oh,
and
definitely.
I think that's something like I'm able to offer to the table.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to get into it this episode, but mindset science is huge, and just how your subjective belief about something can actually have an objective effect on the physiology inside your body and what's going on, which is really cool.
Because once you lose hope, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done. Like that. There's nothing more to it.
Mm-hmm.
Once you submit to staying in bed, game over.
Yeah. I mean, I joke about it sometimes. Like whenever, like it's cold season, I'll never say I'm sick. I'll say I'm fighting off a cold.
I've never noticed that about you. Oh my gosh, you're right.
Just kind of like just a little mindset thing. Yeah.
That's interesting. Like you're not wrong. Also, on the conversation of hospital, we are, like this happens every winter. It's called a surge.
Right.
Viruses pick up during the winter. It's flu season. We have COVID is picking back up.
I don't know if necessarily viruses go up. Because like somewhere where it deep freezes, right? Technically viruses go down.
Technically, schmectically.
But
okay?
Like people are spending more time inside. They're not getting as much sun, right?
I don't know if I agree with you on that though, because it is flu season right now.
So that's a little different.
Okay.
But just overall, when you say viruses as a whole.
Okay, fair. I'm going to use the 3 powers right now. The 3 power of... So flu is going up.
Uh-huh.
Could care less if you're not vaccinated, but expect to get a lot sicker if you're not vaccinated. That goes for all.
Yeah.
That's COVID, that's flu, that's RSV.
Yeah, and flu too, getting vaccinated year after year increases the efficacy of each flu vaccine.
This is true.
Over just getting one in it. Yeah.
You know what I find funny about the flu vaccine, though, is it's just a guess. Because there's so many different strands, and they don't know.
They have to predict how it's going to evolve and mutate.
Yeah. So there's the flu. Seeing a lot of flu people. Mm-hmm. Seeing a lot of COVID.
Yeah.
Thing with COVID is we've gone like some... We're pretty good at treating it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying people aren't dying anymore. People are, and people are still struggling from it.
Yeah. The problem is there's so many comorbidities to it, and the comorbidities make it so much worse.
Yeah. Asthma, obesity, diabetes. Like, those comorbidities go for anything,
Smoking.
though.
Don't smoke.
You know what's a comorbidity is birth control.
Really?
Yeah.
To COVID?
Yeah. Not specifically to COVID, but to a lot
just
of...
overall?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're just messing with your hormones.
Yeah. So... Pulmonary embolisms, clot in your lung. There's 3 big comorbidities: being female, being on birth control, and smoking.
Interesting.
Isn't that weird? Smoking makes sense. The female thing maybe because of the hormones.
Yeah.
Birth control goes with the hormones.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the hospital. So we have RSVs on the rise, COVID on the rise, flu on the rise, and so the hospital's slammed right now. Slammed. Ambulances are out the door, like
That's
waiting
crazy.
for beds. Like it feels like a movie. It's really sad, to be honest. But I still see the little heckers come in for a stomach ache, and I'm like, I'm sorry. If you're one of those, good for you. Tegan, it better not be you. If you have a stomach ache, first step, go to CVS, get a stomach ache medicine.
Yeah.
An antiemetic or anti-nausea medication probably would do the trick. Yeah. Drink some warm tea. Nothing's helping. Urgent care. Guess what? There's a 24-hour urgent care. You want to hear something crazy?
What?
It'll be about the 1/8 of a price.
Yeah, true.
Isn't that crazy? Why are you coming to the emergency department waiting 10 hours in the lobby to be giving a medication you could have bought at CVS?
Yeah, what?
And I understand there's different circumstances. And that might have come across rude, but I have my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, when the ER's there. Also, ERs are, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot more widespread than hospitals. Like, chances are there's an ER closer to you than a hospital.
Yeah, there's
for most people, not all people.
There's standalone ERs.
Yeah.
Which are interesting. I think we have 2 in between where I work.
Yeah. So.
I mean, come on in. If you want to visit me, you literally could bring me lunch. You don't have to you don't have to go through the whole system. Just shoot me a text, be like, yeah, I'm slammed, but I would love like a milkshake right now. So that's that.
Solid.
I wrote in our notes, I kind of wanted to talk about the health.
We can talk about it now. It'd be good to talk about it now.
It's on the same, like we're kind of on the science train right now.
Yeah, we can go science and then we can lighten it up and talk about the fun stuff.
Can we just... Okay, so I wrote, can we fix a healthcare system? In particular, the U.S.
Bold,
healthcare system.
Oh, no, not bold. But very
Can
big
we
font.
fix... Yes, just very large. In the U.S., I think everybody knows it's broken. In
a lot of different ways.
I think I want to go into the big farm conversation
Ooh,
in
okay.
terms of diabetes. Do you want to go there?
Gosh, yeah, we can go there.
We haven't done any research on this. I know a lot about it. I feel like
I know a decent amount about it. I've a couple friends with type 1 diabetes, and then I've done a little bit of research just on insulin and stuff like that. So.
Okay. Also, a little side note. Gestational diabetes when you're pregnant. I learned this today, or I read this note today. So gestational diabetes, the reason it's so incredibly harmful to the fetus, so not a born baby yet, is insulin. Somehow it interferes with the production of surfactant. Surfactant is almost like a lube that helps.
You need it to breathe.
There we go. There's a simplified
You
term.
need it to breathe.
Surfactant.
If you don't have it, the effective parts of your lungs essentially collapse on themselves, and you can't breathe.
You said a lot better than I would have said it. So basically, gestational diabetes, if we didn't know the mother had gestational diabetes, the baby basically was in a respiratory failure. Isn't that
Wow,
crazy?
that's crazy.
Fun, right?
Anyway, where are we going?
Anyways,
with this?
insulin.
Oh, insulin, stupid expensive for what it is and how easy it is to produce.
So there was a company a year ago that, well, first, insulin, the guy who created what would you even, formula, I guess? Your body produces it. So
like
is
the
it
ability to make it
Make it.
synthetically?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So how it's usually made, how it was first made was basically you put a gene into a certain bacteria and the bacteria produces the insulin for you and you extract the insulin.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Well, this guy, I'm assuming it's the same guy you're talking about, he put the patent out there.
Yeah, yeah.
He wanted everybody to have it for free.
Uh-huh.
And guess what happened?
Someone else.
I think Johnson & Johnson. I'm not even kidding. The person that makes one of the COVID vaccines, they picked it up and they sell it for now $600 a vial. That's with insurance.
That's crazy.
You know how long those vials last? Well, I think it depends on...
Don't you have to keep it a certain way? Do you have to refrigerate it? Is that right?
No.
No?
Well, I guess there's different types of insulin.
Okay.
The insulin I am used to giving, we don't refrigerate.
Okay.
I'm sure there is some out there. I guess the point of this is there's big companies that just see profit in people that can't afford it.
Yeah, totally.
Because if they don't have the insulin, they're dead.
Yeah. Interesting thing, I saw some research, I think it was like a year or two ago now, that either they might have found out now, but they were looking into using plants.
Yeah,
to produce
you sent me
insulin,
that. You sent me that.
Which is really cool.
They were successful, weren't they?
I think they were, and they were just figuring out how to scale it up and make it affordable.
They just send you like a plant, and you have all these diabetic people with like
That'd be
plants in the
crazy.
backyard.
That'd be so cool.
I think diabetics. I could not.
Yeah.
A lot of diabetics are like super self-aware, but there is some that are just like, whatever, diabetes can kill me.
Oh yeah. A lot of the athletes that I train that have diabetes, they're just kind of like they have their extra glucose with them at all times. They usually have to take right after they work out.
Makes sense.
Which makes sense. But yeah, they're not like insecure about it or anything.
They shouldn't be though.
They show up in muscle tees with their patch.
Those things are sick.
Yeah.
The new technology with
so
the pumps and the patches and how they're integrated with each other.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Should we move on from science?
Yeah, we can move on.
I feel like we've been pretty sciencey.
Yeah.
The next two topics are about cars.
Well, let's.
Okay. Before the cars.
Okay, so it's almost the end of the year, and I love looking back, like all the you have your classic YouTube rewind and stuff.
Is that still a thing?
I think so. I think it's gone down the drain.
Oh my! You remember a few years ago when everyone was like, "What
everyone
was
was
that?"
like hating on it. Yeah,
Yeah, it was terrible.
I always like to look back at game of the year, top movies of the year. So I thought what we could talk about, because we nerd out about it a lot, is what we think are some of the top tech releases of 2022, or just like big notable tech releases of 2022.
I feel like we should set a little preface really fast.
Go.
Ryan has an Android.
I have an Android.
I have an iPhone.
He has an iPhone.
But I think we can both appreciate each other's technology.
Yeah, definitely. I've had two iPhones in the past. I had 4 and a 5.
Oh, you had the 5?
I loved them.
The 5 was great.
5 was a great phone. Yeah. So, I guess what other biases?
I don't know. Like, I'm more of a Mac user and you're more of a Android OS. Like, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I just know Windows OS better.
And that's fair.
So,
you can get Mac OS.
Bootleg it. Yeah.
No, like, you don't even have to bootleg. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, when you're starting it up, you can.
Oh, that's nuts.
Yeah. I don't know why you would. It probably wouldn't run well.
You have to buy it too.
Oh, you do. I wonder how much that costs.
Probably a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, top tech releases 2022. I had some notable contenders just from various sites, like Gear Tech and Popular Science, Popular Mechanics, stuff like that. Love those sites. So good.
I used to get their magazine, Popular Mechanics. I forgot about that place.
Uh-huh. I used to collect all my Popular Science magazines. I had like 3
Me
years.
too.
I had like 3 years.
No wonder we're friends.
Right?
We had the magazines. I want to resubscribe.
Yeah.
Maybe my mom will buy it for me.
Maybe.
For Christmas.
That would be the best Christmas present.
Could you imagine you come home and there's a Popular Mechanics on your doorstep?
Oh, dude. Pour me a cup of coffee. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's read. All right. Let's start with some Apple products.
Okay.
I think one of the most popular Apple products is their Apple Watch.
So let's say what Apple products came out this year? 14.
Oh,
right?
oh.
iPhone 14.
Okay.
Apple
Watch.
Air Pro, Air Max, Air Maxes, Air.
Did those come out this year or last
Max?
year? I think those came out last year. Those are 2021.
Okay. Apple Watch Ultra.
They did come out
Apple
with
Watch SE.
They came out with the AirPod Pro 2s.
Right, the AirPod Pro 2s.
These names are getting too long.
Was the M2 chip this year?
Yes.
With the iPads and stuff?
M2's and Max. I don't think it's an iPad.
Yeah, Max, right. Yeah, Apple Watch, probably the best smartwatch on the market.
Okay, that's nothing new.
That's nothing new, though. The Ultra, super cool. Definitely pricey. What is it, $800? $900? $800? But yeah,
I think it's for a very niche market, but
is.
I think that market will appreciate what it is.
Yeah, because pretty much the only contender there is Garmin.
But can Garmin interface with your phone?
Yeah, but not as well as Apple Watches. Sure. Yeah.
They have some cool satellite features on the phones and the watches now, where it can satellite call.
Which is that's not new tech, but it's new for Apple Watches, which is cool.
Do other phones have that?
No, but like Garmin watches do.
Okay. Well, Garmin's are ugly.
They're nice watches.
They are. They are.
Noise canceling earbuds. We mentioned the new AirPods
2s.
AirPod 2s. I know Bose has a really good pair. Sony probably does. But that was pretty big this year because before it was just you had to have over ear for noise canceling.
What headphones do you have?
The original Pixel Buds.
Are they good?
They are. The Bluetooth connection's a little buggy, but they fixed that in subsequent generations. Other than that, they're good headphones. I love the interfacing.
You've tried my AirPods on before.
Yes.
How do they compare?
I don't like the stem.
On my AirPods?
On the AirPods.
Okay.
I like how tightly the Pixel Buds fit. I feel like the sound quality of the AirPods is better.
Apparently they upped that in the new version.
In the Pros?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. A lot.
Hear me out. Would that not depend on the program you're using to listen to music? Because Apple Music...
so that kind of does. Like the bit rate and stuff of the stream itself definitely does matter.
Because Apple Music supports Atmos. Spotify does not.
Right.
I think those are the two big contenders in the music space right now.
Yeah.
So it's like if I listen... is it noticeable?
The thing is, a lot of music isn't recorded in Atmos.
No, you're right. But if I were to listen to an Atmos song on Apple Music and then I listen to that same song, but it's not supported,
it would probably sound better unless you're using completely different headphones. Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. What do you think? When I was in Apple, I was telling the guy, I was like, I love my AirPods, and I think the noise cancellation in the first generations are incredible.
It was pretty good.
I stand by that, especially for not over the ear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't use that feature very often.
Yeah, it's a weird feature because how often do you have your headphones in and you just want to like zone out? Like on the airplane, maybe in the gym, but like
airplane and gym are the two that I use.
Yeah, like if you're wearing them any other time, you probably want to know at least a little bit of what's going on around you. Maybe,
especially if you're
just
like
for safety,
walking through campus.
Yeah.
Like, besides, like if you said hi to me, I have no idea.
Yeah, like you want to have some recognition of what's going on around you.
Fair. If you're getting honked at, you probably wouldn't know.
Which is why I like the
transparency.
The transparency feature.
It's great.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I wish there was some sort of like auto transparency, so if it could somehow detect that you're talking to someone.
I know that's on the new Pixel Bud Pros.
Really?
It has that.
That's cool. Because I don't want to have to go like hold it and be like, oh hey, how are you?
Yeah.
It's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Not AirPods, but headphones in general have come so far.
Definitely.
It's time to be real.
To be real.
Gosh.
That's okay.
That's happened the last 2 episodes.
Wow, magic.
Wow. Your phone is always on the loudest. All right, the M2 chip came out.
M2, yeah. Not as significant as the M1 releasing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just kind of an improved M1.
Stupid powerful still.
Oh my gosh, other chips like from
Intel and
not really Intel, more AMD, I think. Stupid, absolutely bonkers.
In a good way or a bad way?
Like in a good way. Like they're so powerful.
Oh, I was talking because Apple used to use Intel. That's what I was trying to say.
So powerful. Intel's falling behind a little bit.
This has an Intel in it. How embarrassing! This is M1 though.
Yeah.
Look at me, I have them both.
Look at you.
We should do a performance test.
This would beat it.
Really?
That's old.
This is the 2020.
Yeah, that's old.
Isn't that crazy?
In terms of new chips,
in terms of
old.
Technology, that's so funny.
That's
you know what I found interesting? New iPhones came out, right?
14.
14 Pro has the A15, which is their newest chip.
Yeah, but the one that the non-Pro
has
the old chip.
Yeah, how stupid. How stupid. That is basically buying the older iPhone with a smaller notch.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
And a little bit better camera.
Shut up. The camera's already great.
But not such minimal.
I would literally pay the $200 extra for the chip.
Now, if it had a USB-C,
I think they're gonna have to switch over.
They have to because the European governments are making them.
Which I don't think government should be able to step in, but whatever. It'd make my life easier.
I mean, like,
why is it such a big deal there?
I don't know why it's such a big deal, but just the fact that Apple doesn't use it is kind of surprising since they consider themselves the head of, like at the front of technology.
Do they?
I mean,
yeah.
Even if they don't openly say it, they definitely have that posture.
Well, they kind of are.
Yeah.
They definitely set the way, and maybe they do copy technology, sure, but they make it better.
Mm-hmm. They make it more accessible.
And expensive.
Accessible,
expensive. OLED?
Which could be less accessible. OLEDs. So yeah, OLEDs have been around for a while now, but they've definitely become more accessible and more mainstream. OLED screens on phones, the Nintendo Switch OLED. What else is OLED now? OLED monitors. Those have been around for a while too. But they've gotten cheaper. They've gotten a lot cheaper. OLEDs.
They're only $3,000 now.
No, I mean there were some Black Friday ones that were 55-inch for $1,800, $1,700.
This is true.
Which is a crazy decrease from what they were a couple of years ago.
I'll just have to wait it out a few more years,
yeah.
and they'll be much lower.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of TVs, the first quantum dot OLEDs came out, which is kind of the next step. Samsung, Sony, and then Alienware, which is Dell's gaming computer brand, has a monitor.
Oh, it's probably going to be so ugly.
Quantum dot OLED, probably.
They don't know how to design.
Yeah. The good news for, general consumers, the people that aren't just always buy the new thing right away, is like once QD OLEDs come out, OLEDs are going to drop.
What do you think about the new projector technology?
Super cool.
Let's pretend we haven't talked about it.
Okay, what new projector technology?
Oh, funny you ask. I don't think the projector technology is new. I think the big new thing is the screen. Mm-hmm. So imagine you put up like a I don't even know, like a canvas almost. And that canvas has teeny little notches in it. It's like a 90-degree triangle, but the sloped side, so a 90-degree triangle is like this, and then it's just sloped side. The sloped side is facing the ground.
The hypotenuse.
The hypotenuse, there's the word. Oh, geometry!
Geometry!
The hypotenuse is facing the projector, which sits on the ground, like it's below it, not above it. And that way, it doesn't allow for any glare to hit the screen.
Super cool.
Such a cool concept. Why haven't we thought of this before?
Don't know.
Damn, that was not the answer I was hoping for.
The other big note I have for top tech release is just a lot of EVs came out, electric vehicles, this year. So you just have a lot more options if you're looking for electric vehicles.
I've seen a lot. I saw a Lucid today. Saw a few Lightnings the other day.
Yeah, Ford Lightning, Hummer EV, we saw some of those.
Their wheels are so small.
Yeah, it's weird. Hyundai.
Tesla Semi.
Nissan. Tesla Semi. They started shipping.
To Pepsi only right now.
That's funny.
But like, sick.
Do they use them for their deliveries?
Tesla, I'm sure they probably will start. Okay. But they're probably going to give it to paying customers first.
That's true. BMW, Audi e-trons.
Chevy Bolts, that's still a thing. Are you sure?
So Chevy Volt is the old one.
Oh.
They rebooted it. It's now Chevy Bolt.
Please hold.
He's got to look it up.
Of course I am.
And then Subaru announced that they're coming out with an EV.
So ugly. You're kidding.
Jeep also announced that they're coming out with an EV.
A fully electric one?
Yeah, they're calling it the Recon.
I'm sorry. If you're driving around in this thing, you need help.
The Bolt?
That thing is just the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Look at that.
It's like Smart Car's big brother.
It looks like the BMW i3.
Yeah,
it looks exactly like that. Oh, man.
That's funny.
That's so hideous. It's unfortunate.
Speaking of which, there's a BMW i4 now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. We're going to go on a tangent. Oh, whoa. That is so different than the i3. Do you know what the i3 looks like?
Yeah.
Okay, that's sick.
Yeah, the i4 looks way better.
Okay, look at the 3, though. Bruh. I'm sorry. How do they...
It's like a Fiat.
Okay, tell me the difference. There's literally no difference. They're the same, Ryan. Wow.
He's talking about the Bolt and the i3.
We're going back to apoptosis.
Yeah.
Speaking of cars.
Uh-huh.
What's the deal with car dealerships?
Okay. So, yeah.
Can I just set a mood?
Yeah, tell the story.
I don't know what whoa. I don't know what the story is.
Corey was going to buy a new car.
Oh, I
thought about buying a new car for a while.
Yeah. Gas prices were expensive.
It was like almost $6 a gallon.
I was like, oh, this is unfortunate. I drive a truck.
Yeah.
Not the most friendly. And so I go to a dealership. I go to Kia, and I found this great Kia
Sportage.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Gets great gas mileage. It's like $22,000 on the website.
Yeah,
that's after
it's like $22,000 MSRP.
Yeah, $25,000 after everything. I was like, that's great. Mm-hmm. I will gladly pay $25,000. I get to the stupid Kia dealership. I look at the stickers. They're selling them for like $45,000.
And it's not even higher trim.
No, it's like the same trim.
Low trim.
And it's like, wait, why? They're like, oh yeah, we mark all our vehicles up like $10,000 over MSRP. And I look at the guy and I laugh and I leave. Yeah. It's like, I'm not even going to entertain this.
Yeah.
However, my parents did just buy a new car from Kia. Same $10,000 markup. But they're like, we'll take this off your hands today if you get rid of the markup. And they did. Yeah. So it's like, why put it in the first place? You're just driving customers away.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
It's so frustrating.
Because they know that if they put it higher, then they can negotiate down to the regular MSRP, and it sounds like a good deal. Like,
that's stupid.
But like for people that do their research, they're gonna see right through the BS.
Yeah, he's like, oh, everyone does it. I was like, well, that's unfortunate for all of you. And I go to the next dealership right next door. It's like a Hyundai.
Yeah.
No MSRP markup.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's unfortunate. We're already at 50 minutes.
Wow. We talked about cancer for a long time.
We did. I don't really remember what we talked about. One of my old...
We're an informational podcast.
Should I expose myself just for a second?
Yeah, go
She
for it.
texted me. That's why I remembered. One of my old flings, Tessa. She was great. You didn't meet her. She was a summertime fling.
Okay.
She was fantastic. I sent her the podcast because she had a podcast. I listened to hers before we met.
Okay.
Scary. She was talking shit on her ex. I was like, oh, fuck. That could be me next.
And now you're about to talk shit on your
No, not at all.
Oh.
But I sent her the podcast and she's like, yeah, this sucks. I was like, thanks, Tessa. So I'm going to send her this part.
Yo, shout out.
Shout out, Tessa.
Shout out, Tessa.
Should we expose
Did she make it past episode 20?
Episode 20. Oh, no, Tessa. You're part of the 91%. L. Hey, Tessa, how's your face?
Objectively, our podcast is going to be better than yours.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it already is.
That's true.
Like, look at us and look at where she is.
Look at our stats.
Look at them. How many listeners? 17?
15, 17?
Round up, baby.
I think 17.
If we get to 50, we can start having, like, real ads. Oh, speaking of ads, we forgot to mention today's sponsor. Oh, shoot.
Not a sponsor.
No, it is. It is. We're sponsored by Apple. So.
Like Gala or?
The Gala?
Or.
Oh, like the type of Apple?
Yeah.
Oh, Macintosh.
Golden Crisp, Macintosh.
Yeah. So use the code RyCo, RyCo, at checkout, and you get 0% off.
And if it tells you the code's fake, call them and tell them this code should work.
And say Ryan and Cory sent you from Are We Podcasters.
Yeah, and if they still don't listen,
Hang
fly
up.
to the headquarters. Fly to the headquarters and demand
refund.
your 7% off.
It's 7% now.
7%.
We really struck that deal.
Yeah.
Good for us.
7%.
Also,
considering the fact that the new iPhone is $7,000, that means your discount is a whopping almost $500.
wow, that's tax.
Yeah.
We got your tax covered.
There you go, folks. Don't say we didn't give you nothing.
I think we need a little pickup line. Oh, how did you end it last time? That was good.
Oh, I forget.
Stay crumbled, my friends.
I said something like...
Stupid, that's for sure.
Like, are we
podcasters? We don't even have like a little clip.
I made a logo.
Oh, that's right.
I made that.
That's really exciting. We're official as balls right now.
I love it.
I feel like we should end this before it gets a little bit weird.
Yeah? Yeah. What's our screenshot? We don't have like a thumbnail yet.
That's what I was just saying. What if we're holding this? You ready?
Wait, we can do cheers with our cups.
Yeah, I like how we
Perfect.
keep
That's a
it
good one.
part of the recording. I think
love
that's
it.
fun.
It's good.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Say it back.
See you next time.
Tessa, fuck you. Oh, it's not ending!